Welcome to our On Your Side News Channel 5 Consumer Special. I'm Joy Benedict. Folks in this East Side community are waking up confused, and they're waking up with a lot of questions. First, they want to know, who is this neighbor that's been living next door? Who is Anthony E. Soul? And more importantly, this morning, they want to know who were the 6 women found dead inside his home. This is called Mighty Putty. It says it can remove hair instantly and pain-free. We have our black light effective and working as we're going on a hunt for urine.
You think so?
Yeah, look, see, you got it all over the baseboard.
Man, a good thing you're here, Joy.
I cannot stress enough the importance over the next few months to check and double-check your credit card statements. And since there's so many people who are owed money, we thought we'd check out a few in our own newsroom. And you can see that by rolling your clothes, you actually save a lot more space.
Good morning, Cleveland. It's Monday, July 28th. I'm Paul Kiska.
Actually, it's Tuesday, July 29th. Bah humbug to saving calories in the holidays. Well, happy Independence Day and welcome to the Cleveland Metro Park Zoo for what they're calling Red, White, and Zoo. It's sort of new this year, and it's a way to highlight red, white, and blue animals of sorts. We've got several inches of water. You're also seeing this over on Canal Road. You're also seeing it on Old Rocky River Road right here. And folks are continuing to come up to me, asking what happened, asking who it was, because this store really is a staple in this West Side community. The procession carried Private Warner past his old school, his home, places that were important to him in life. As so many here in this community, not only the police officers, but folks who never knew Officer McTarrian have showed up to pay their respects.
Joy, what was that you were stirring earlier?
That was actually the gravy, Kimberly.
Oh, the gravy.
It was like gallons and gallons and gallons of gravy. And that just shows you how many people they plan on feeding here today for free. Although I will say yesterday was an absolutely beautiful day. So hopefully we can repeat that as well, like we just did the date. Right, Suzanne? On Your Side, I'm Joy Benedict, News Channel 5.
I don't want to pay more than I have to pay.
It's a thought weighing on shoppers like Carol Fontaine every time she sees the scale, getting from here to here without paying too much. Our 5 on Your Side consumer investigation exposes how you can be cheated.
We are pretty tight shoppers.
Carol and her daughter weigh everything before they check out.
They'll give you a good idea of how much you've actually purchased.
Mike Nix is an inspector with the Summit County Auditor's Office. He and his co-workers visit this Twinsburg Giant Eagle and every other store in the county every 3 or 4 months.
15.
One by one, they check each scale for accuracy.
Anything that's weighed or measured, we do.
These inspectors say they rarely see a grocery scale fail, and this store has a great record. The problem comes from operator error.
You want to make sure you're paying for the product and not the container.
When you buy food sold by weight, like deli meat, chicken tenders, or your salad, you're legally only supposed to pay for the weight of the food, not what's holding it. For example, each container at this Olive Bar has a different register code.
Once they put this number in on their system, it'll bring up an automatic tear.
At least, it's supposed to. So we decided to do some shopping of our own. With our hidden camera rolling, we visited 5 grocery store chains, purchasing 32 items sold by weight, everything from seafood to salad. We then brought it all back to our studio, and with a borrowed scale from the auditor's office, we weighed our purchases. These are our Roma tomatoes. We found we were overcharged for 10 items. That's almost a third of what we bought. Our biggest discrepancy came from this Cleveland Walmart Supercenter. We paid more than $10 for what was supposed to be 4.37 pounds of chicken breasts. The chicken with packaging weighed in at 4.45 pounds. When we dumped out the chicken, the packaging alone weighed close to half a pound. At $2.50 per pound, that's 85 cents worth of packaging. And when Walmart weighed this chicken salad sandwich, they didn't account for the packaging at all, costing us another 8 cents. And the same was true at Heinen's when we picked up this stuffed mushroom. The label weight was just above half a pound, the same weight we got when it was still in its packaging, meaning we overpaid again 19 cents. Crab legs are something you want to watch out for because they're so expensive at $10.99 a pound. And when we purchased $14 worth of crab legs at this Rocky River Giant Eagle, we didn't know we were paying 41 cents for the weight of the styrofoam tray. Although there's not much you can do at checkout when you buy prepackaged items, there's a lot you can do when it comes to your produce that's weighed at the register.
Look for a 0.
Make sure nothing is obstructing the scale when your food is being weighed. See how this Walmart checker wears a long name tag? When she leaned over to weigh our produce, it fell on the scale almost every time, although it did not affect our produce weight this trip Look at my receipt from weeks before. My 3 nectarines weighed in at more than 4 pounds. My 3 plums, 2.8 pounds.
If you don't think it's correct, then ask for it to be reweighed.
I did, and the receipt was corrected.
Tough times. You want to get the best for your money.
Which means being observant, knowing what you're buying, and not being afraid to call out a shifty scale. We asked all 3 stores to comment on the discrepancies we found. Walmart did not respond. Heinen's and Giant Eagle both responded immediately. Heinen says it considers this an isolated incident, but says they will make sure their defined practices are understood and followed. Giant Eagle says our investigation uncovered a problem in the seafood department at that store. They have since addressed the issue with the scale and retrained employees. Both Giant Eagle and Heinen's have excellent records with the county. For the company's complete statements, log on to newsnet5.com. On your side, I'm Joy Benedict, News Channel 5.
Yeah, this comb, this is the comb, and these are the wattles. So all this.
Frank Dudas knows chickens. He's raising more than 100 roosters, from blues to spangles to lacies.
And they're laces, but they're noted for cutting.
But Dudas doesn't raise cocks for food. He does it for show, and he does it for sport.
It's something I was raised with. And our forefathers fought chickens. George Washington, Abraham Lincoln was a referee at times.
Dudas was one of 21 people arrested Sunday morning at this farm in Medina County. He was at a cockfight.
We were sitting there at ringside, and next thing I know, somebody busted in, and they're like, this is a raid, and we just thought somebody was pranking.
But it wasn't a joke. They were all charged with animal cruelty, and the farm's owner also faces a gambling charge. But Dudas says cockfighting isn't worth ruffling your feathers over.
We're not hardened criminals.
But you do know that it's illegal here in Ohio.
Yes.
But Dudas says it is legal in Louisiana, where he takes his birds, and he thinks this sport should be legal here.
Have you ever been charged with this before? Or?
First time ever. I'm 35 years old.
Dudas wouldn't say whether his roosters were part of the 26 rescued from the fight, and he wouldn't show us any of the weapons put on their legs to intensify the fighting.
I would never intentionally do anything to hurt an animal. I mean, you can see how well I raise these birds.
But how he raises roosters isn't in question. What got him charged with animal cruelty is watching them die. Well, this morning, the coroner says an autopsy is planned to figure out exactly how a Cleveland firefighter died. Now, a boater found Kenneth Mike Alderman's body just 5 miles off the shore near Lorain. Alderman disappeared after jumping into Lake Erie almost 10 days ago near Sandusky. And Cleveland City Councilman Joe Simperman and his family are waking up somewhere other than their home this morning. You saw the story as it broke yesterday right here on Good Morning Cleveland. Investigators say a fire that heavily damaged their Tremont home looks intentionally set. Now, everyone inside did get out okay. Simperman says he's received death threats after vowing to catch arsonists who set 2 other fires in his neighborhood. Well, it is an economic turn of events for the good, that is, in Stark County. 6 months ago, Trans World Entertainment announced it was closing its Jackson Township warehouse, leaving hundreds of employees without work. Arthur Middleton Capital Holdings has saved those jobs and is now even creating hundreds more. The company says they plan to keep the jobs coming as well. For more information on how to apply to work there, just log on to our website. That's, of course, newsnet5.com. It was an absolutely fabulously beautiful hot day yesterday.
Well, that's wonderful, Joy. I'm glad you like the weather.
No problems whatsoever. In fact, I don't see a car on it. Looks great. All right, Joy, back to you.
All right, thanks so much, Betty. And no cars this early. Well, an OSU football player is in trouble with the law this morning. Police arrested starting defensive tackle Doug Worthington for driving while intoxicated over the weekend. Now, Worthington doesn't turn 21 until next month. Right now, he is facing charges of DWI. Now, Coach Jim Trussell has already met with Worthington, but no disciplinary action has been set yet. Well, we've got new video of a raging river rescue this morning. Cameras rolled as a fisherman is pulled out of a creek in Utah. Dean Ryrie was fishing near Salt Lake City on Sunday when he fell into the water and he got trapped by a boulder. Now, he was in that creek for more than 12 hours, and that's when a little boy finally heard him calling for help and did what he was supposed to, which is turn around and get that man some help. Thanks to a little boy.